the Real Water Coolers talk shows on YouTube. It's a huge week. It is 9:19 p.m. and OU still sucks. It's OU week, best week of the year. It's like my Super Bowl, so I'm hyped. Texas has some revenge to take care of on Saturday, and I just can't wait for it to go down. So no Trevor today; he's in Europe, so I wish him well. He's always on the move. But we got the OGs in the house, and we're about to get into it. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe, comment, send this to your mom, your grandma, your dog, and everyone.
Especially,
Yeah, we're trying to.
close in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, we're gonna just hop right into it. We haven't been on in a couple weeks, so just general team thoughts we can get into, and then start talking OU. But I'll pass it to Madrid, who just kind of finished up law school, and he's made a big milestone. I don't know if he wants me to shout him out, but he passed the bar, so
I appreciate that.
that time. So give him some love in the chat.
Thank you. Let's get some W's in the chat room. Thank you. Appreciate that. I think OU always comes at the right time during the season. I like being tested. I won't say early on, but at least in the early first quarter of the season. And I think it's the perfect time. We're gonna get our starting quarterback back. Our offense seems to be humming, and our defense seems to have contributors peaking or at least finding their stride at the right time. Thinking about Colin Simmons and Barron, Gilbo, even the whole backside of the secondary of the defense looks primed to really, make OU's quarterback situation hell. But no, yeah, I like OU, especially just to get a good evaluation and how we're gonna progress to the rest of the season. I mean, it's a great game, but you learn a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I feel like we've been moving so perfectly on a just great trajectory under Sark, and now it's year 4, and he's 1-2 against OU now. I think the next evolution of this program becoming dominant, which it is to take care of business and handle OU and avoid the getting upset by them when you're supposed to win. Because last year, same situation kind of. OU was better last year. We weren't quite as good, I don't think, as this year. So I hope that we start showing that dominance in this rivalry that we've been begging for a while now. And I mean, all the greats.
Just need a little bit of a run. Just a little bit of a run.
Yeah, and there's no reason it shouldn't start now. All the greats did it. I mean, Bob Stoops did it. Royal dominated it for a while. So hopefully Sark can kick that off. And yeah, there's no excuse. So, yeah, you're right. OU is dealing with some quarterback issues. I think this kid they have is like a good hero ball. Absolutely, he's dangerous. He can run. I do like how we have the bye week to kind of prep for him, because I know, talking about the Mississippi State game, that Michael Van Buren kid kind of got loose on us a little bit with his legs, and we didn't know who that kid was. That was his first game ever playing, so it's nice to kind of have that Auburn film where Hawkins was just running around like a kid everywhere, just living on a prayer to help prep. And we got the personnel on the back end, just with so much speed at linebacker too, and so I'm hoping that we'll be able to contain him. But I'm not going to act like OU's offense is a world beater. It's actually really bad, like historically bad. So there's a lot of opportunity here for Texas. And what I'm more interested in is Texas's offense against OU's defense, because OU fans seem to think they have the best defense of all time this year, and it's a great defense. They got dudes on that defense. R. Mason, Thomas, and Danny Stutzman, of course, is still there. Peyton Bowen, Billy Bowman Jr. They got veterans on that defense, and they gave us problems last year. They forced turnovers. They get after the quarterback, so they're legit. But I still don't think. I think this Texas offense, and this is another thing I want to see. I think this Texas offense is potentially going to be historic with how good it can be when it's all said and done. And it's nice to have Quinn back. I want to see some explosive plays and just see us get after this defense and expose this apparently great OU defense, because I think we will. So I'm hyped to see that.
I think also going into this week, I mean, I think I said it the last time we filmed, there's little things around this offense that I just really would love to get cleaned up. And that's like the pre-snap penalties and um, I mean, I guess in the Mississippi State game was really the only true problem, but like ball security just feels like we played a very sloppy game in the beginning of that game, or at least in the first chunk of that game. And back in the day, that probably would have done us in, but it didn't because we have the talent to overcome now, which is beautiful. But I do think, like, to your point, that OU still has guys on the defensive end that can exploit some of that sloppiness, and that's going to be a um, uh, big thing to look for coming into this one, just to see how focused we come out of the bye. Yeah, I don't think you can really ease your way into this game, unlike some games we've done with Arch in these previous two games. So that'll be really interesting to see as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the way that our defense is, we have a good defense. I want to say we haven't played great offenses yet, but we have a good defense. And how bad their offense is. If you get like a quick start, like you said, you get up 14, maybe 17 points, like in the second quarter. That's gonna be really hard for OU to battle back from. So yeah, a quick start might put this game away, and that's cliche to say, but like everybody wants to start off fast. But I think in this matchup specifically, especially with the crowd dynamic split half and half, that'd be huge. So hopefully that opening script from Sark is on point, and hopefully Quinn isn't rusty because this is a kind of a tough spot for Quinn to come back because all the casuals will be judging Arch's numbers against ULM and all these cupcakes compared to Quinn's first game back against a real defense, a good defense, and a tough environment. Mm-hmm. So all the naysayers, all the clickbait merchants, Paul Feinbaum, they'll be wanting to sell that if Quinn doesn't look godly like Arch did the last couple of weeks. So that's going to be something to watch. I trust Quinn so much in this spot, though. It's really huge to have a experienced quarterback that's played this game before, and their guy has only started like a couple of games now. He's a true freshman. He's never been to Red River, I don't think, or played in it at least. So that's going to be you think you can get after him and rattle him, especially with the guys we got off the edge. Colin Simmons, guys like that. So the quarterback situation is screaming Texas to cover here, but I don't know. This game's always got something up its sleeve.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, I remember last year. I honestly felt very confident going into that one. I know the teams were a little bit more equally matched back back last year. But so this one in particular, I'm kind of perplexed by. But back to, I mean, I think we saw what we needed to see from Arch. As much as everyone likes talking about it, he has more raw talent than Quinn ever had. I think for sure. I think Quinn was more of a project coming into college. Arch is more refined, but what Arch doesn't have is that the details of the offense and the details of footwork. Although his footwork is pretty good, and I think that's where Quinn comes and kind of steadies the ship for us. And Quinn, big game Quinn. I'm all in, man. I'd ride and die with that guy. So I expect him to pick up right where he left off. I mean, we all thought the Heisman race was over by now, but I don't know, man. Milroe reverted back to being not Superman anymore. Some guys have just been completely erased. Dylan Gabriel's not even alive anymore. Cam Ward, I mean, they're alive, but like he hasn't been playing good ball either. It's really flashy ball. It's just shootout ball. So Quinn finds himself in a really interesting place right now where he can take control of the conversation while missing 2.5 games or something like that. That's a big deal. No doubt in my mind, if Quinn was playing right now, we would have been running up stats, or at least Sark would have been running up stats in the past few games. So, I mean, maybe there'll be some rest, but I have faith in the young man now that he's beyond those type of uh, pitfalls. I mean, the last time we played OU with that quarterback with a bad quarterback situation, granted they didn't have one. It was pretty ugly for them. So, but I like if they're gonna play the true freshman, then I like our chances for our defense to be able to control that side of the ball.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, Quinn's apparently like taking all the first team reps pretty much the last 2 weeks, at least definitely this week. And apparently he looks great from what everybody's saying. Like he looks locked in better than ever. And I think it's funny you bring up the Heisman because Sark himself literally said a couple weeks ago that like Quinn's still gonna have a chance to win the Heisman and reach all of our goals of winning, getting him a Heisman, going to the national championship, all that. So Sark's intentional about it, and yeah, I agree. Like no one, unless someone becomes like Lamar Jackson in the second half of the year and just starts just doing stupid stuff. Which I mean, Ashton Jeanty at Boise, but he's at Boise. That's
I
not going to
mean,
happen.
we could talk about that. I mean, I like Ashton GT, but you ain't getting no Heisman playing Nevada, bro,
Yeah.
or Montana State. It's not happening.
So yeah, I agree. If Quinn balls out the rest of the year, especially with that big A&M spot in College Station, the last game of the year, and Quinn will ball for that. I think he'll have a great shot to win the Heisman. I think he's still very much in it, especially if he plays well on Saturday and Texas continues to be a top team. It's if you're a good quarterback on a top 3, 4 team, like you got a good chance of winning the Heisman if you just stay the course as we've seen, over the last 15 years. So yeah, I agree. But let me ask you this: if Texas were to lose this game, what happens? Like, how does Texas lose this game?
I think so. The way I remember the way that I remember last year going is kind of how I feel. How every OU game is going to go on uh, for the foreseeable future. Whether we win or lose, we'll see. But their defense always seems to rise to the occasion. And I mean, they like to tout that they're all worldly, but during OU weekend or during this rivalry, they almost are. They come prepared. As much as I don't like Brad Venables, he prepares a good defense. I think sometimes when I think Texas knows, I think everyone knows Texas is the better team, but when you come in as the better team, you kind of have that ability to, feel like you can take plays off and those type of pitfalls and traps. I mean, I was also about to say that like if Quinn like re-injured himself, but I wouldn't feel the most vulnerable if Arch went in. I would still feel okay, but I think if anything, it's going to be turnover heavy if we do run into some trouble. I mean, look at Jaden Blue, man. I'm that guy's biggest fan, but he has history. Now has a fumbling history, and I would say like, hey, maybe it's time to reel in some touches a little bit. But I mean, he's the best back we have for right now. Jarek Gibson, as much as the buy might have helped it, we've been leaning on that young guy a lot. He takes hits. I mean, great contact balance and all to like keep going, but he takes hits. He's at least trying to be that service. Him and Weisner are trying to be that serviceable Baxter role heavy hitter, but we're gonna have to rely on guys to take care of the ball. Um, I as much as I think Quinn's footwork has gotten better. I think he's still sometimes a statue a little bit in the park in the pocket if he doesn't have like a clear running lane. So um, if they don't give Quinn the option to get out, I feel like one guy gets loose, like Quinn's going down with like a feather sometimes. But I could see it coming down to like those type of situations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you just never know. I mean, and they have enough talent on their team to make it a nasty game again. and that's how the only way they can win this is if it's like under 30 points. You know, like 20 something to 20.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 turnovers. They run the ball a lot. They kill 8-minute drives here and there. But their O line is really bad, and I will say that with my chest. It's just not proven. It's so new, and people get after them a lot. So I think they're also horrible on third down. Their third down offense is like worst in the nation, and our third down defense is like tops in the nation. So
It will be pinned back. Yeah.
so if we can just force them to, just not hold the ball and ball control us and just take care of the ball, we're gonna roll. We'll probably cover if that's the case. They do got some guys if Deion Burks plays that are explosive and could potentially get past us on a play here or there, but we hadn't seen that at all year till Hail State had a couple guys get past us, but that was just a weird game. They had a great game plan, and our defense was kind of just head spinning. So hopefully that doesn't
Do we
happen.
know? Do we know the entire the status of that wide receiver room? Like, I know they've been hurt.
Yeah, Burks
For a week.
not even. Burks is questionable. The report came out. Jaleel Farouk's out. Nick
Yeah,
Anderson's out. The one that had the game winner last year. Andre Anthony.
yeah. I was about to say, there's a lot of that. The veterans in that group are not there for them, or at least they haven't been last week.
They don't have Drake Stoops this year to save the day either. Brendan Thompson.
No.
Brendan Thompson's time
Step
to
up, time to step up.
a revenge game. But also, I forgot to mention this, and no one's talking about this. Let's say Hawkins does terrible or gets hurt. You know who's coming in the game? I don't think it's gonna be Jackson Arnold. I think Arnold's already gonna transfer out to Hail State in my
You think
mind.
he's clocked out already?
I don't know. This is just speculation.
I would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to work at OU. We all know that. You know who would come in potentially is Casey 7th-year Thompson.
Wait, I didn't. You know what? I vaguely knew that Casey Thompson was at OU, but I didn't actually think he was that close to playing. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is, man. I think it would be funny. Not for him if we lost the game that he played for us because we blew a major league to Caleb Williams, and then he plays for OU, and then hopefully gets smacked by us. So he's just kind of like 0 for 2 on both sides. I don't know. I love the kid, but it'd be a sight to see.
Yeah, that guy.
Year,
The marathon continues, dude. That guy's been around forever.
bro. We're in great. Like,
I had classes with that guy. Like
I was about to say,
early in my college.
I was about to say,
classes with that guy.
I was like, me and you were both like finishing up, postgraduate degrees, dude.
Yeah. But no,
You're about to get out there in the world. He's going for one last ride.
that'd be some crazy, the greatest story of all time, some Sooner Magic, ultimate revenge. If he were to go in there and light it up, but that's just a thought in my head. I'm ever since Caleb Williams went in there and like did what he did against us, blew that lead. I'm never quite comfortable in this game. So
No, yeah, we talk about like, oh, we need to go on a run of these games. And low key, we've had our opportunities to have like a 3-year run on them, or how many years would that have been? Yeah, 3. You know what I mean? Like, we've had our opportunity to have our run, but that's just kind of how our program has been.
yeah, it's nice how they're not a machine anymore because like those teams they had with Lincoln Riley when he was at his height, those were some.
That's unfair, man.
It was just torture playing them. It's like we got to play perfect, get some breaks, and then maybe we'll have a chance to beat Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray or all these just NFL first overall Heisman guys. And it was just
you were hoping they were the only ones to make the mistakes and everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just can we hang in the game? Like so it's nice that now the role is flipped when we're kind of that now, and they're just trying to hang in there and muddy it up and play the little underdog role and crash the party. So, but yeah, dude.
I think the most frustrating part about playing OU or being OU's or OU being our rival was, their ups and downs weren't nearly as tragic as ours. So like every OU game feels like, or at least recently, every OU game feels like we're trying to, gain back, like recoup some losses from the past years. And when we lose, and like I know that we're like like last year, like we were the better team. That's like, it's like wasted opportunities to like to rewrite these history books from the past decade.
No, exactly. Yeah, it looks bad. The past decade, it's like I think 7 of 9. The last
It's
9
so bad,
on to
dude.
OU, and like they shouldn't. Like it's bad. So it's time to get one back and hopefully start a streak of our own. But all right, man. Well, I'm pretty much good on this. You want to go into predictions or any final thoughts?
Let me think. Let me think.
I was.
I what's up?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I'm really interested overall the trajectory of the OU program, just for the mere fact that like they've had such a sustained like consistency that I've never seen them um, be this scrappy. You could say 2 years ago when they didn't have, but that was because Dylan Gabriel was injured. But like this really feels like a moment for them, and it really feels like a moment for us to send them to the shadow realm, like for a while. And the things that I can do to a fan base and to a recruiting class and to a roster cannot be understated. So I think this is one of those years with this game. This Red River is going to mean a lot more for one other team than well, more so for OU than it is for us. Last year, I mean, yeah, we lost, but we still pretty much accomplished our mission of trying to get to the college football playoff. Fell short of the championship, but we were still where we wanted to be. OU loses this, it's not looking pretty, at least in
Yeah.
my opinion.
No, you're so right. It feels like it's close to a tipping point, and that's why I'm glad that they beat Auburn. They came back and won that game off such
Yeah,
a big slate because it slowed down the meltdown, and now they kind of believe they're still ranked. So we get a nice ranked win. They're like 18. I don't know how they're ranked that high, but they've been looking so just vulnerable all year. Tennessee just kind of dominated them, and Tennessee's got their own issues now, and Auburn's horrible. And Auburn led that game the entire way till the end, and they gave up like I don't know. Auburn put up like a bunch of yards on OU's like close to 400. I want to say 500 on OU's defense. So and the optics around that program are like OU's not bad, but I think like you said, there's a good opportunity here to go
there's chipping of the paint, bro. Like,
and
yeah,
to send a message, and then the whole OU community will be on Sunday. Venables is not the guy. He needs to go. What we're wasting time because they're teetering on 7-5, 6-6. I mean, who knows how bad it could get? But then again, they believe that they can pull some shooter magic that they beat Texas on Saturday. They're right back in the
yeah.
playoff picture. So it's a big, yeah, it's like a big hinge point for them. And
It's a big swing either way, man, for them.
yeah,
Like, it really is.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Also, I think it's just lastly, I just think it's kind of interesting the level of preparation each team has went through to get to the SEC, and it feels like they didn't really hit every. I'm sure they tried. I'm not gonna say they didn't try. They're a competent program, but they didn't hit all the marks with the type of players they should have been getting, the type of depth they should have been getting um, coming into this game. I feel like I don't know. I hate to say they feel like they still have their Big 12 shell on them, but like it kind of feels like it a little bit. Like I mean, I say that in like Bama lost to Vanderbilt, so who knows? This SEC might be the Big 12 too, but I don't know. I think there was a clear difference in how both of us approached the SEC. That like, oh, you felt like they came along because they thought it would be cool and fun, and we wanted them, obviously, but not to the extent that we were ready to make that roster jump. So I don't know. Just interesting to see play out.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. How do you see this one going?
Okay. I just wanted to, I remember last year I felt so confident about my score, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty close. But that last second walk us down the field really blew my mind. I wasn't ready for that, and I didn't know they had that in them that last season. So that kind of makes me cautious. You know, Hawkins seems like a good recruit. I'm not gonna hate on him too much, but I don't think true freshmen belong in this game unless you're Caleb Williams. I got us winning. I'm taking the home team again, the good team again. Um, it's either by 3 or 6 points, but I like, I like 30-24 Texas.
Okay. See, I like that. You got a close game, and that's what it would look like. That's the recipe for you to win, keeping it in that range. So you got Texas close, and that Trevor, on the other hand, he's sent us in his prediction. He's got Texas big. 48-27 was his number. He said offensive MVP Quinn Ewers and defensive MVP Colin Simmons. So
Ooh.
he thinks the Horns are gonna.
I feel like if it's 48-27, there's a lot of garbage time. You know what I mean? There's like a quarter of like we just kind of letting their backups get in there, get some scores, and we got our backups in there getting scores. I don't know. 48-27 seems absurd not to have like a Sam Ellinger versus Kyler Murray type game.
Yeah. Yeah, I see this game going two ways. Either Texas wins big, or it's like down to the wire, and we potentially lose. No, I don't think we're going to lose, but it's going to be a 3 to 6 point win or a big win, like Trevor said. No in between. It's not going to be like a 14-point win like that. I feel like that line.
No 10 points or anything.
Yeah, the spread's going to be. It's going to be way off of the spread, in my opinion. So I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah, I never trust that for this game.
But I just think Texas is such a good team this year. We've showed really no weaknesses, besides little things. OU has been living on the edge for so long. They nearly lost to Houston, who's terrible, 16-12. I know that was Jackson Arnold, but
they're asking for it, man.
I know. And last week they looked terrible against Auburn, and they pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Props to them, but Auburn lost at home to Cal by like multiple touchdowns. I
can't unsee that. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So and Texas has the revenge factor. Like this is not us coming in feeling ourselves. I mean, we probably are feeling ourselves, but we played with our food against Hail State, and we looked horrible against them in the first half. So we're gonna have like a renewed sense of focus through the bye week, which I'm sure we've done and prepped the right way. And plus, we remember last year. I mean that loss sucked, dude. That was the worst loss I can remember in a long time.
It didn't feel like the better team won, like legit. Like it's just like, damn, we kind of just threw that one away.
Yeah. And so I think Texas comes in with the right mentality. They approach it with like it's a statement game. It's a statement game. Everybody's gonna be watching it, and you win this game big. You get revenge on your rival, and then you just kind of announce yourself to the nation as like truly the number one team. Because I know we're ranked 1 right now, but like people talk about Ohio State, and not that it matters, but I think it's just a good point to just send a message to the nation that like we're different.
No, it's a good time to like make us be like our tier of our own type of team.
Exactly.
Every team right now in the top 5 is slipping up. Like, I mean, I guess outside of Ohio State, but we'll see this weekend.
For sure.
It's a time to like we could be that team. We can establish ourselves as the ones that have the destiny to have control of our own path to that national championship and the number 1 seed.
For sure. Last thing I'll ask about this game, and then we'll do one more thing and then get out of here. I think we should do this every week that we film now this year because it's just kind of like a unique situation with our wide receiver room. Mm-hmm. Which receiver has the big game this week?
I like this.
Who's your pick? Who's your pick for the leading in the sstats, the big touchdown?
Quinn's back. It's gonna be Bond. I think Bond's been a little quiet. I think a little quiet with the big down the field plays. I think when Archer's in, there's a lot of Wingo and Moore and Cook sightings, which is good. But I think Bond and Quinn have that elder statesman type of connection where like those two guys want to get each other into the league and high and become high draft picks, and I think they lean on each other to do that. Second guess would be Golden because in the red zone, the Quinn and Golden are in sync. So, but I lean Bond just because he's a little. I think for the big game we lean on the older guys. So.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with Golden, and I mean honestly they're all elite. They're all elite, but I think Golden.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
I don't know the golden hat. It's just kind of like Matthew. I need to see him in that.
We gotta win just so he can take that pick.
But and if I had to pick another one, I say Jonte gets it back. You know, after he had that drop touchdown, I think I think he'll have some opportunities to right the ship, and I think he will. And he's a Dallas kid, so he's coming home, and you know,
true.
so I think he can ball out. But cool, man. So did I make my prediction? Did I give a score? I don't even remember. I don't think I did.
I don't even think I gave my offensive and defensive MVP either.
All right. Well,
did you give that?
No. All right. I got off track.
Oh, it's all right.
Who is your offensive and defensive MVP?
Offensive. The reason I brought up Bond is because I think he's my offensive MVP. And then defense, I can really see being on either side of the ball. Usually, you give it to the winner, but Stutzman likes to make an appearance during these games, or Bowman. So I can see a special teams play for him happening. But on that side of the ball. But if it's going to be us, I like Jade or Makuba. I think those guys are going to rise to the occasion in this game.
Nice. Yeah, I love our secondary. I like that. Okay, my prediction, I see this game playing out. I guess I've had to choose one. I think it's going to play like the 2005 game where OU keeps it close the first quarter. They force a turnover, and, you know, they're in it. They take a little lead here and there, and like we're like, oh, here we go again. But then like quickly Texas turns it on, and like it's obvious Texas is the better team, and we run away with it starting in the second quarter, third quarter, and then by the end of the game, it's going to be 41-13. Texas wins.
I like it.
So
dream big,
cover big, and it's a big spot. Texas is that good, I think, this year. And offensive MVP, I'll go with Quinn again. I think Trevor said that. I'll go with Quinn. You know, whenever he's in Dallas, he seems to play really well. And this, people forgot. I think he wants to remind the nation who he is. And defensively, that's tough. I like the Colin Simmons pick by Trevor, but I'm gonna go Ant Hill. You know, he's a Dallas kid too, from Denton.
I do like that. He's been relatively solid and kind of quiet with the big plays this year. I could see him making a statement.
Yeah, he kind of had his first quiet game against Mississippi State, so I think he'll clean it up this week and cause some havoc for running down Michael Hawkins Jr. So, yeah, Texas big game from Quinn and Anthony Hill, and Texas moves to 6-0 hopefully and gets Georgia. Huge game following week, so hopefully we take care of business. You never know in this game.
Hey, we're coming up on a gauntlet, you know. OU, Georgia, and then Vandy, bro.
I know. I'm glad that Bama took that bullet for us, so now we're not going to be
blind. Yeah, Vandy's still high on that by the time we roll around.
Yeah, we'll be ready. But all right, before we get out, we got like 2 minutes left in this recording. I want your quick thoughts, predictions. I don't expect you to know everything about this game. Oregon, Ohio State, huge game, top 5 match. At Oregon, Saturday night.
At Oregon, you know what? I'm going to have to do a 180 from my preseason thoughts. I thought Oregon was going to be not really good, but I thought they were going to be, you know, fireworks. I mean, and they're doing the job beating the teams they should, but, you know, Evan Stewart, big time transfer, it's just not even usable. You're not even being used there. Dylan Gabriel is not putting up the numbers we've seen him put up before. It's very weird. I don't know. Big Ten, seeing these two teams go up against each other in the Big Ten has not settled in yet. Will Howard has been playing fine and good. And then, you know, Jeremiah Smith is coming on, and there's a lot of arrows pointing up for Ohio State, and Oregon feels like they're just kind of where they are this whole season, and this is their first big test. I like Ohio State in this game.
Yeah. I like it. I think in this game, I think Oregon has a better quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. I'll take him over Will Howard, although Will Howard's solid. Oregon's at home, and I feel like Oregon's getting a lot better after that horrible start of the year. They're kind of quietly just blowing everyone out now. Haven't played a bunch of world beaters yet, but Boise State's really good, as we found out, and
yeah,
that close game makes a lot more sense in hindsight. So I think it's a big spot for Oregon. I'm leaning Oregon here. I think Oregon's going to win the game, just being at home. I don't know if
I like it.
Ryan Day's track record in big games like this. He always seems to come up a hair short in like the Super Bowl top 5 games, at least when it's Michigan or Georgia or whoever else. So I think that trend continues. But I do think ultimately Ohio State will win the Big Ten. But yeah, I got Oregon in that one.
I like it.
But all right, guys, we're about to run out of time here, so I'm gonna get out of here. But thank y'all for watching. Hook 'em, baby! Big game on Saturday. Time to take care of business, and
Yes, sir.
Those are the Sooners. But go ahead, like, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Hook 'em.
Welcome.